Hello, security pros. Thank you for joining us today for our ESA webinar, Why ClareOne is a #1 choice for dealers and builders. During this webinar, Clare founder Brett Price and sales engineer Jerry Bulda will present ClareOne and discuss what the recent acquisition of ClareOne by Snap One has in store for dealer partners. From new features and enhancements to driver integrations and more, you will learn how ClareOne has been elevating the intelligent home experience, giving end users a new spin on what it means to live in a secure, smart, and convenient home. I'm Daniela Chavez, ESA's Marketing and Communications Specialist, and I'm excited to lead this webinar today. Before we dive in, I'd like to provide some tips for those of you joining us on your first ESA webinar. Welcome. You will be muted for the duration of this session, but that doesn't mean that we don't want to hear from you. If a question or comment comes to mind at any point during today's session, click the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen, and I'll ensure that we save some time for your questions with our experts today. We will also be recording this webinar, so you can rewatch the on-demand session and share it with your colleagues. Tomorrow, you will all receive an email thanking you for your attendance today with a link to the recording. If your company is a member of ESA, we thank you and we hope you're utilizing your benefits to save, expand your team, and get connected to the ESA community. If you're not yet a member of the Electronic Security Association, check us out. ESA is the largest and longest standing association serving the pro-installed electronic security and life safety industry. Our members are integrators, dealers, monitoring centers, and even manufacturers and service providers in the space. You'd be surprised at the power an ESA membership holds for your company. Get a feel for all the ESA benefits, including savings on business insurance, training, customized in-house onboarding and professional development programs, peer networking groups, government advocacy programs, certifications that satisfy state licensing, and in some cases are also alternatives to NICET at esaweb.org. One of our membership specialists would be happy to walk you through these benefits and the application process. We at ESA realize your time is valuable, and we appreciate you spending some of that time with us today. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Brett Price and Jerry Bulda. Brett is the founder of Clare Controls, which was recently acquired by Snap One. As president, he grew the company to over $60 million in annual sales, with 365 employees and system deployments in over 30 countries. He was also a founder of the award-winning Tempest Pro Services, the largest integrator of home audio-video systems on the west coast of Florida. Jerry has been a key player with the Clare Controls team for nearly 10 years. He comes with an extensive networking background with previous experience at Teltronics and Vertical Communications. His current role at Clare as sales engineer is a perfect match for his skill set and background. So, with that being said, Brett, Jerry, please take it away.
All right. I'll get it started, and then Jerry will take over and walk us through the ClareOne system, and then we'll give you a wrap up and go through the ClareVision system that is available. So go ahead. We'll go through the agenda real quickly.
Sure.
We'll kind of explain, what the Clare system is, where we try to position, what the ecosystem looks like, take you through some of the customer experiences, a few of the products and services, and then kind of take you through what's new in the last few months at Clare. And we're always innovating, we're always developing, and we're always releasing new products and services. So we'll take you through some of what's happened over the last few months.
All right.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Brett. Just wanted to say welcome, everybody. I just checked out some of the names that have joined, and I've worked with a couple of you in the past, but we appreciate you taking a little bit out of your afternoon to join us today. So yeah, Brett just went through what we're going to do. I'm going to talk about the ClareOne, Fusion Pro, stuff like that, and then I will switch it over to Brett, and he'll talk about our ClareVision product line for the cameras and VRs and things that we have coming up. So again, welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us. A little bit about our story. We actually came from a smart home platform and background, not necessarily a full security. We've always integrated with security. We always had integrations to security like DSC, Honeywell, and so on. Just recently, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, we decided to come out with our own security system, and since then, it's been a great success. We're now part of Snap One brand, sold through authorized partners, purchasing at local partner stores, Snap One and Control4 portals, combining the best of smart home and security, powerful dealer tools, and a complete video solution. We were fully acquired by Snap One back in the middle of August, and now you can purchase products both through the Snap One website. You can also go to there's several stores that are out and about now, all throughout the United States, where you can walk right in and make your purchases that way for the product. So it's been a great experience, and things have really been looking up after the acquisition. First, where do we fit in? We all know there's so many choices a homeowner has when it comes to smart home. Clare fills the large gap between retail security platforms and luxury automation systems. You have the do-it-yourselfers that install their own devices that are purchased online or at local retail stores. Most of these systems carry a monthly fee to access the system remotely and have fees when the new dealers go to add something to the system. The next step up, we have competitor systems that offer great products, but again, there's always fees when they go to add devices to their systems. At times, the pricing is a la carte structure where the customer keeps getting increased bills when they want to try to expand their smart home. These solutions have limited integration support as well. Where we fit in is with a unified platform offering RMR opportunities, broad device support, and cost effectiveness for both our dealers and your customers. If you have a customer that has been using the Clare system and is looking to expand, we made it very, very easy to integrate and upgrade to Control4. If you're already a Control4 dealer looking for a plug-and-play security system, the ClareOne panel will auto-discover when installed with an existing Control4 system. So we've continuously enhancing our drivers. We're going to be adding more and more to our driver so that there's more transparency for devices through Control4 as well. So we are the intelligent choice over traditional security platforms. And a quick look at the Clare ecosystem. We have one app to manage and control your smart home and security. The Clare Home panel puts customers in control of their security and other smart home devices at their fingertips. We've also developed a new modern back-end programming solution, Fusion Pro, which makes it even easier than ever to program, manage, and troubleshoot your Clare Home systems. And last, we have the Clare Vision. It's our affordable video solution with an app that links directly to the Clare Home app. So there's a seamless integration between the Clare Home app and the Clare Vision app. Clare Vision offers many choices of cameras and NVRs. We'll be taking a closer look with Brett here coming up soon when we take a deeper dive into the Clare Vision and what there is to offer. Clare utilizes Clare Cloud technology for the entire product line. Users connecting remotely to their security, smart home systems, Fusion Pro backend programming, and Clare Vision NVRs and cameras. Being able to quickly connect your home instantly from anywhere gives homeowners a sense of security and peace of mind. The Clare technology also allows our dealers to manage, monitor, and troubleshoot systems with Fusion Pro. We put true smart home and wireless security into the same platform at the right price. By not requiring a monthly fee for smart home, dealers can lead with smart home, get homeowners and builders to buy a smart home and security features for minimal costs. With an industry plagued with customer acquisition costs nearing $1,000 per signed monitoring accounts, and I'm referring to central station monitoring for alarms, this model will typically adopts pretty quickly. So let's look at these service plans here. We start off with a basic interactive. This is no fees at all. There's no strings attached. You have full control over all of the smart home devices in your Clare system. Your homeowners can do things right through the app, creating scenes, schedules, notifications, and automations. This excludes security features. So what that means, if your customers are home with their security panel, they will be able to do everything A to Z, arm the panel, access everything. If they're remote, they won't be able to access the security system with this basic interactive plan. The next plan up is Clare Interactive. This is where you can do everything. We call this our self-monitored plan. They'll have complete 100% access both locally and remotely to their system. And typically they'll do their own monitoring with push notifications, emails, and text messages. The next two plans are the Clare Interactive Plus and Clare Interactive Plus LTE. The last 2, 3, and 4 are where the actual monitoring starts. The Clare Interactive Plus, if you read through the bullets there, it'll do everything that the 2 above do. This is where, like I said, the central station alarm reporting starts. Number 3 with the Clare Interactive Plus is strictly over the internet service provider. So if the internet goes down in the home, there's really no way for the alarms to be delivered to the central station. That's where the Clare Interactive Plus LTE service plan comes in. This will do the whole shebang. If you have professional monitoring, we do activate the LTE card. There's a SIM card that comes in every single one of our ClareOne panels, whether it's an LTE or whether it's a Verizon panel or an AT&T panel. You can activate that LTE and you will have some redundancy where your alarms will get delivered even if there's a power outage or if the internet service provider goes out. There are some small fees associated with these as well. And I just want to mention that the Clare does not do the actual security monitoring. The dealers and partners will need to have a central station in place to do the actual alarm monitoring. So this is very similar to other systems out there, competitor systems. We put true smart home and wireless security in the same platform at the right price. By not requiring a monthly fee for smart home, dealers can lead with smart home, get homeowner and builders to buy smart home, which includes security features. Dealers have the ability to upsell additional products and professional security monitoring. Of course, customers like to have the choice whether they do self-monitoring or take the next step to professional monitoring. Nice thing about the Clare system is the flexibility. We don't force anybody to go in and go up to the next service plan. It's really up to them. Maybe they don't want to have monitoring for a summer or something when they're home, and then when they if there's a teacher or somebody's working remote, something like that, you can always turn on the central station monitoring if you choose one of those other service plans, or you can just continue to do your self-monitored plan. So increased contract close rates. Clare works with many of the products homeowners already own, existing home market, and is powerful customer management platform which can be used to continually market to existing customers. We work with several products that a lot of the customers are already going to have in their homes, such as they could have some smart home lighting, door locks, thermostats, things like that. We'll have a list coming up here momentarily that shows some of the products we work with. As Clare products are proudly distributed through Snap One, the ClareOne panel integrates with Control4, enabling systems that scale from simple to spectacular, integrating entertainment and advanced automation. This is a great option for those customers looking for more robust smart automation. For existing customers already using the Control4 platform, the ClareOne panel integrates seamlessly as a security system to arm, disarm, view zone statuses, and much more. ClareOne panel also works with Oversee. Oversee is a Snap One's support platform allowing partners to remotely manage, configure, and troubleshoot devices on the customer's network. So between Clare's Fusion Pro programming backend and Snap One's Oversee, you'll have the bases covered for troubleshooting and reducing truck rolls. So both of those, between the Oversee and Fusion Pro, we've been adding lots of different troubleshooting tools and techniques into Fusion Pro backend, where you should be able to, at least go in. If you're having a problem with a customer's system, you'll be able to do some remote diagnostics before jumping into a truck or something and deploying a tech to a site. So let's stop for a minute here and ask why Clare. You can increase profitability and grow your business with RMR, smart and profitable choice for security dealers and custom integrators. We have different product offerings from competition with lower operating costs, small and nimble company that works with you. We take feedback very, very seriously. A lot of the new enhancements and features that we've included in our products come right from our dealer base and our partners. We actually put out surveys every once in a while, and we get that feedback, and our development team goes in and actually deploys these and does the engineering. Lead with free smart home. That goes for your builder communities that want to start putting smart home and advertising, marketing smart home. We put it in for the free, and then of course they can add to that system afterwards with central station monitoring and other devices. all-in-one solution with unique upsell strategy with Control4, and remote system troubleshooting and overseas support. Customer experience. We have a fully scalable, fully featured system, from small systems with locks and thermostats to advanced projects featuring full lighting control, shading, and audio systems. Here's another look at the products I was mentioning a couple slides ago of the brands that you'll probably be able to relate to. Down below, you can see some of those. A lot of these are Snap One brand products, but there's a lot there that we integrate with that you'll see almost in every home these days. Quick-Out locks, Ecobee thermostats, Aprilaire. I won't read the list, but I'm sure you'll recognize some of those. Full integration with hundreds of smart home and security products and brands that customers are asking about. Not only that, you can create your own custom scenes, schedules, automations, and notifications that feature your favorite devices. And when I say user-friendly fun, that doesn't mean the people that are deploying the system. The customers, once their system is installed, they have the ability to go and create their own through the Clare Home app, so they don't have to keep calling the integrator to create those scenes and notifications for them. Next, we have a look at what can you do with the Clare Home system. You could look around the ring here. There's smart lighting, home security, security cameras, smart thermostats. We do voice control with both Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. We do the garage doors, including MyQ. We also have Z-Wave, and we have another new one with the Genie, which was integrated just earlier this year. We do smart shades. That list is getting bigger and bigger every time we release a new Clare Home. Entertainment. We add that entertainment because we have seamless Control4 integration. Wireless audio using Sonos and Hios, and connected door locks. There's a whole huge amount of door locks, different brands that you can use, new and old. We support most of those Z-Wave door locks. So one app, let's take a little dive into the app here. We've got the simplified design, and by the way, we're always pushing out new features into the app. We've just recently added widgets and things like that, shortcuts that go into both the iPhone, iOS platform, and Android. Smartphone widgets, in-app widgets, remote security control, which makes it easier for your end users. It's fully customizable. We've added things like this for all of your lights, because before you could have to have all your lights on one page. You'd have to keep scrolling up and down. This makes it really nice. If you've grouped your lights into rooms, you can turn entire rooms on and off with just the one touch of the finger. Makes it very, very easy. Works with hundreds of different brands. There's a picture of what it looks like with the audio integrated. We show all the metadata. You've got full control of your audio, forward, back. You can pause. We got full volume control. Future ready design. If you've integrated your cameras with the Clare Vision system, you just tap on one of the thumbnails on your Clare Home app, and it'll open right up seamlessly into the Clare Vision app and pull up the camera. The reason we do that is so we don't have to have all of the camera archived video and everything packed into the Clare Home app. Once you tap on the camera feed, it'll turn right into this, what you see on the screen, and you can access event history, the microphone, and things like that. A little more about the app today. You can create your own scenes, which will allow users to launch predefined device actions with a single click. They can create schedules. Do-it-yourself system expansion. We do allow users to add simple devices like Z-Wave door locks, plug-in modules, for lamps, things like that, very easy. Customizable, again, there's scene icons and page layout for each user by the individual rooms. We also now have added automations, like a turn on lights when the basement door is opened. Maybe you wanted to set something up when one of the kids get home, it automatically disarms the security or turns the lights on, or the pathway lights, something like that. You can do all of that right through the Clare Home app. Notifications can alert you when a specific action occurs. We have in-app widgets, making it easier, so when you open it up, you can find your favorites right at the fingertip. And we have smart home widgets, smartphone widgets on both iOS and Android. And there's a look of on an iOS device. So the ClareOne, let's talk a little bit about the ClareOne panel itself and some of the peripheral devices. This shows a diagram of a full home automated with all of the ClareOne devices, the ClareOne panel. There's an auxiliary panel. If you look around the different rooms, we pretty much have the bases covered as far as it goes for all of the different sensors that we offer. There's CO, smoke, water detection, heat detection, your typical motion sensors. You've got your door window. We have shock sensors, door window sensors, indoor sirens. The list goes on. There's always sensors for what you need. There's a long list of different sensors, and on top of that, the sensors last. I believe the battery life is pretty extensive. Every one of the sensors has 2 batteries with very large antennas that go all the way around the inside of the sensor. So your typical door window sensor will last usually about 7 to 10 years or so with the 2 batteries. A lot of the competitors' systems have, if you take off the battery or the top of the cover of the sensor, you'll see it's just 1 coin battery inside, where we have 2 in there. Just for one dies, the other one takes over. So it's a nice feature. The ClareOne panel. So this is a look at the ClareOne panel, a close up. You've got your exceptional experience, unified smart home and security. That's fully customizable. When we take a look at the screen, you see that those are what we call the tiles. So whatever you're using on your system, you can fully customize the screen. As you see, it's like a grid view. You can just touch on one of the tiles and you can add or remove whatever you see fit, for whatever you want to use on the system. You'll probably have the most used icons up toward the top and then go down from there. You can see here, there's several different examples. There's a garage, a keypad. You've got your actual security system there up in the top left corner. Fans, lights, door locks, and I see there's blinds there as well. It's very easy to use. You tap a tile, it opens right up, and you've got your whatever the action is that tile is used for. There's a look at a thermostat. Whatever thermostat you integrate, it'll always look the same in the app. Of course, if it has humidity control or other controls, those will be there as well. Here's a look at our latest blind integration. They've done a great job adding our blinds. You can now actually use your finger on the white area where it shows. You can drag up, down, left, right, depending on what kind of shades you're using. And it looks exactly the same in our Clare Home mobile app as well. The background there, it looks like the sky. Of course, if it's dark, after sunset, it'll go dark. So our developers did a really nice job with the shade integration. One more thing about the shade integration. They made it easier than ever to use the shades. If you're using something like the Lutron Caseta, if you're using shades, you literally just tap the button on the controller on the hub, and we import not only the lights, but we import all of the shades and things as well. That goes for not only the Caseta hub, but some of the other new shade hubs that are out there as well. Reduces installation time. When you start up the ClareOne panel, it goes right into a startup wizard. It's about 4 or 5 screens. You go through it. You could add sensors, set up your PIN numbers and things like that. It's very, very simplified. It's very, very simple to do. The panel is ETL listed for residential and commercial. Here's another look. This is the interface and what the panel actually looks like. There's a 5 megapixel camera up at the top that captures if you do arming or disarming, or if you touch the settings. If you go into the settings for some reason, it'll actually capture whoever went into the settings for you. Contemporary design. It's not even an inch thick, so it doesn't come off the wall. It looks great on the wall. There's the smart security icon on the bottom. That'll take you to what looks like the security keypad, where you can arm, disarm, see all of your zone statuses, see troubled conditions. The next icon is for the smart home. That's what's showed on the screen here, where you have all of your tiles. There's a bottom LED status, which is color changing depending on what's happening with the panel itself. It's if it's armed, disarmed, if there's a trouble condition or whatnot. There's a heartbeat monitor. It looks like that for the home activity. That shows all of the activity that's going on in the log. You can also access that through now Fusion Pro and through the Clare Home app. The panel supports up to 128 security zones and 99 users. I do want to add that partitions are actually in the works right now. I believe it's going to be out by the end of the year. I know Brett, he might add to that, but I'm pretty sure it's being tested right now as we speak. We do support Z-Wave up to 232 devices. It's actually 231 if you can include the one being the controller itself, which is the panel. Configurable favorites dashboard. That's the idea of adding your tiles and creating a custom look. And there's the security panic. If you do have a monitored panel, there's an emergency button where we do support 2-way calling. If you tap that emergency button, you'll have a police, panic, fire, and auxiliary where you can touch those buttons. Those will call right out to the central station where you can have a 2-way conversation. maybe somebody's knocking down the door or something like that. It's a quick, easy way to send a distress signal. We've just added a new company branding screen as well. You can do all of this work right through Fusion Pro. You can select from a pre-configured template that displays custom message, or you could completely do one from the ground up. This is just an example of what one of these might look like. You can upload your own, create and upload your fully customized activation screen that fits your branding and style. This is very useful, especially if there's a model home, or if you have customers that are just moving into the home that have the ClareOne panel installed. You can set this up and have a PIN number, which would be the only way to access the rest of the panel. So they see this, they give you a call, they dispatch a technician, and you go from there to activate the panel. A little bit about Fusion Pro. I did discuss Fusion Pro a few slides ago. Fusion Pro is the back end of our system, which allows you to do not only all of the programming, but you can do remote troubleshooting and diagnostics as well. Very easy to use. We do have training modules that walk through these as well. I also do an in-depth webinar every Thursday at 2 p.m. If you wanted to register for that, you could get to that on our support help page at clarecontrols.com. But it's very, very simple to use. Once you've added a ClareOne panel, you can go through all the screens. There's tabs there that'll walk you right through adding the panel. It really couldn't be easier. Powerful management platform enhances dealer productivity. Disruptive pricing model increases your RMR margins. White label app, and there's data analytics. We keep adding and adding things to Fusion Pro. In our last recent update, we've added logging, where you can actually now see the activity log. We've also made it easy accessible to, if you're doing alarm reporting, you can easily filter on alarms that are getting sent to the central station if you're doing troubleshooting or if you're doing testing with the system for the first time. And a couple more of the screens here. It's a step-by-step project. Ensures no critical step is missed. So when you do this, there's tabs, like I said, that are laid out. You can see that on that second screen there. You just kind of walk through those tabs, and you'll make sure you don't miss any steps. At the very end, all you need to do is do an actual formal invitation to your customer, where it actually sends out an invitation from Fusion Pro to your customer, and it's a welcome email that says, "Hello, welcome to your Clare home system." And it gives them detailed instructions how to download the app and start using the system to gain access for the first time. All right, I just finished up with our Clare home bit. This is going to be Brett taking over for the Clare Vision stuff. As you can see, there's quite a wealth of different types of cameras, form factors, things like that. Brett, if you want to go ahead and take over the presentation.
All right, I'm answering questions. Okay. You can take over questions.
Okay.
So I'll take you through the, I'm not driving this. We can take you through the camera line. The line is about 2 years old, year and a half old. Now it's been heavily invested in. The R&D efforts have been quite intense and nonstop. They grew from 0 to about 65 SKUs in that 18 months. So we'll kind of walk you through it here. What we did with this product, what's important to understand is what we're trying to help you with this product. We're not trying to become another sort of knockoff, white labeled. You can pick your favorite company, Dapa, Hike, Uniview, et cetera. We're really not doing that at all. In fact, the mobile app development is not done by the camera manufacturer at all. So we control this, we drive every bit of this user experience. So what we're really trying to do is give you an experience that allows you, an experience and a price point that's going to allow you to be competitive with the DIY product, so that when you walk in and somebody says, I can do a Nest camera for $500 or $600, we've got a competitive user experience to that experience, and we've got cameras that outperform those cameras that are reasonably priced. So, we've got the updated UI. This happened about 3 to 4 months ago. When you have that UI, if you've got a dozen cameras on there, you just page right through all the cameras, and all of them are live. Keep clicking.
Yep.
You can just click them all. Whoa. Back up. The no disc can do that. So the home screen, you can go back up one more. You can go through the, you can either display the cameras in a sequential format or a grid format. Next. We do the cameras and NVRs all support OTA services. So when we do a firmware update, there is no monthly fee to you. And I often tell dealers this, it doesn't mean you shouldn't charge the customers. So if you can put together a monthly fee for this, you are delivering feature sets pretty reasonably frequently. About 3 times a year, we update the firmware and the mobile application with fundamentally new and substantial features. This app update's a good example. This is the live view screen. We support PTZ controls. You can see there's the event view down below. There's a live view above. And you can go, we're in the event history right now. You can filter the events by smart events, motion events, full-time record. You can share events, you can email events, all the things you can typically do with consumer style apps. Next. Go ahead. Yeah. We do put some simple settings in the app that the users can adjust without your support. We are bringing out a video doorbell that will be within this app, and that video doorbell is completely set up inside the app. So all of the features, you'll see more and more of the configuration and setup of the cameras will be moving into the application over time. Again, giving you that sort of edge, competitive edge against the DIY style products. Next. As an example of device settings that are available today, they can control motion sensitivity, change passwords. They can control, we have a white light or Clare night cameras that can control the light intensity, and they can control whether that in fact comes on. So we continue to add some of these configuration items within the product. We support push notifications, of course, as an example of PTZ control. You can take snapshots, videos. So for example, if the user says, oh, that's an interesting, in a live view, that's an interesting, that person's in my backyard, or I want to take an image or a video of somebody driving by, they just click and it starts recording. And again, it just downloads to the phone and you can share it with somebody. Okay, next. So the app is, we get a lot of compliments on the app. A lot of work went into it. We haven't, like I said, we have another app update coming out probably in the next 4 to 6 months. And then we'll update again later in 2023. We do tie the 2 apps together through sort of a deep linking, and deep linking is the technology that Facebook uses between Facebook and Messenger. So when you are in Facebook and you've got a message, you can tap, the app slides sideways. Those are actually 2 separate apps. So we do the same thing, use the same technology between Clare Home and Clare Vision. Go ahead. So this is Clare Home. When you tap the camera image, it will slide into Clare Vision and take you to that particular camera. And then you can hit the back button and you're right back in Clare Home. So we tie them together. You can use a Clare Vision app standalone, or you can use a Clare Home app without cameras. And so we wanted to keep that sort of independence between them, and that's how we approached the problem. Keep going. We do pass events from the cameras to the ClareOne panel, and both the video doorbell and the cameras do show on the ClareOne panel. But you can take a motion event or a smart event out of one of our cameras. You can use that to create a lights on scene or do a push notification either directly from the cameras or from the Clare Home system. So it's pretty flexible, and it can be used within the action system that is built into the ClareOne panel. Next. We broke the line into, there's 3 basic buckets of cameras. There are the V100, V200, and V300 series. The ClareOne, the V100 series is really the value-based product line. Starts at $69.95 for 2 megapixel cameras. And when you look across our product line, we tried to keep the product line extremely structured. So you will see the same form factor everywhere in the product line for a fixed lens turret, a fixed lens bullet, or fixed lens domes. You will see the same exact form factor for varifocal turrets, domes, and bullets. So we have very structured form factors. Everything's available in black and white. And then you really just need to figure out, the couple of feature differences as you move through the product line. And it makes the product line a lot simpler to sell and train your sales staff on. So we start with the value series. It does motion detection. It's got great low light. I'm going to show you images in a moment. How much time do we have? Great low light performance, but it's not Starlight. When you move into V200 series, you're into the Starlight product with smart events for human body detection. We are working on car detection right now and expect to release that. When we release those releases, as I mentioned before, they're all free. So you don't have to pay a fee, but again, you should probably consider charging. And then you move to the V300 series, which has those same capabilities, except it's a color at night series of cameras. And again, the form factors are identical. Where'd you go, Jerry? So that's basically the three buckets. Keep going. We're going to run out of time here. Go ahead. So we basically focus on trying to make the experience as simple as possible. We have complete driver support. We have dealers using Luma cameras with our camera, with our NVRs. We have Luma NVRs used with our cameras. We have our cameras on Control4 systems. We have cameras on the Clare system. The combinations don't seem to ever end, but our tech support guys are pretty good at handling all that. You can scale. We have a 16 channel NVR. Our 16 channel NVR is a PoE port count. I'll show you that in a moment, but it'll support up to 25 cameras. And it's NDAA compliant. Keep going. And so this is essentially, we support Oversee on the NVR. We support Oversee with ClareOne. We have Control4 drivers with the NVRs and cameras, and we do support with the NVR. We click it again. We do support OnVIF based cameras, which would be things like Luma and Hike and Dahua, and you pick your favorite brand. Almost everybody supports OnVIF. Go ahead. I covered all this. Go ahead. I'm running out of time. I want to get into some of this. One of the first things that dealers always say to me when they see the cameras is that image quality is amazing at that price point. So when you conversely, when I show you the next slide, most people don't realize how bad the consumer cameras really are, like Ring and Nest. They're not very good cameras from an image standpoint. They've got great app experiences, and that's what they market themselves on. But when you really look at those images at night, you start to wonder whether you're actually going to know who the bad guy really was. So this is an image sheet that shows you what Ring and Nest. That's not the correct coloring of that shot. So the color rendering of a Nest camera isn't even really close. So, and across the bottom, that bottom camera in the lower left is the $69.95 dealer cost turret camera available in Bulda also. Then you go to 4 megapixel, and in the bottom you can see that's our Starlight type camera in the third box on the bottom, and then you go to the 8 megapixel. Go to the next slide. Go to the next slide. Okay, this is what I wanted to get to. So now you see, and this is in the evening, and you can, in the background, there's a building back there that's got building lighting on it. So there is some light, there's some ambient light in the area, but not much. So you can look at the Ring 2 megapixel outdoor camera. It's exactly the same place as our Value Series 2 megapixel camera, and the difference is absolutely shocking. So when you start moving over to the right and you go all the way over to the 8 megapixel turret, high resolution cameras are a little bit difficult to get to render at low light. You can see details all the way back to the building. You can see details on the little pond or lake in the back. So you can see the image quality of these Clare cameras is starkly different than even certainly the consumer cameras. And the one above it is a commonly known large Asian manufacturer. So you'll be very happy with the image quality. Next. Color at night cameras we released 6 months ago. So this is shows a standard camera with the IR off, and this shows you on the right the color at night camera without the LED assistance. So that's a test in a parking lot, and that's quite literally the difference between the two. The low light capability of color at night cameras is very good. Next. So that's, so this is another property of color at night cameras. One of the issues with trying to pick up things like license plates is they're highly reflective. So when you have a standard camera with infrared on, you need that in order to see the car, but you absolutely cannot read the plate. Click. When you do this with a color at night camera, in most instances, you can pick out the plate. So there's a whole series we could do on color at night cameras and the value of them and so on and so forth. Keep in mind, if you've used our color at night cameras, the white light is intense. We regularly, and we're going to probably change this default in the camera, you really only need about 30 to 50% of the light intensity to really make the camera perform properly. And so that's what we're recommending people do, is set it down so that it's not, because if it gets real dark out at night, it gets, well below 0.01 lux, that light is going to kick on, but you don't need the full power of the light to operate it. And we're going to start getting a lot more clever with that white light as well. Next. Going backwards on me. You can skip this. So here's the series of cameras in a sort of different layout. You get the value series, and these are in the 69 and 89 range. In the performance fixed lens series, our Starlight cameras are about $105, and we keep all the pricing the same. So if you once you step into that price, that particular performance series, then the bullet, the dome, and the turret's all the same price. So then you don't really need to worry about the complexities of bidding and so on and so forth. So again, we try to keep the product line extremely structured. And you kind of go to color at night, and then we have performance, the performance series varifocal, which is essentially a varifocal version of the smart camera, and then you get color at night varifocal all the way up to 8 megapixel. Next. The NVRs are a little bit unique in that there's software support for more than there are. So each of these, that when you see our NVR and you see the part number, it'll be like a V200 4P. That means 4 PoE ports. Our 4 PoE port NVR supports 9 cameras. Our 8 port PoE NVR will support up to 16. Now, obviously, the next 8 cameras are going to need to be on a general network. And then you do need to do your calculations and make sure that the 2 terabyte hard drive, if you're kind of swamping this thing or killing this thing with a bunch of 4K cameras, be careful and do your calculations and make sure that the hard drive is going to be adequate. Hard drives can be changed in any one of these. In the Snap Store, we have hard drives available for NVRs, and NVR hard drives are hardened hard drives. They're designed for the abuse and NVR gives a hard drive. So don't go to Amazon and just take a $49 hard drive, throw it in. You're going to run into trouble. The 4 and the 8 will handle 1 hard drive. The 16 channel NVR will handle up to 4 6 terabyte drives. So you can that NVR has a tremendous amount of storage available to it. The 16 channel has an eSATA port and network NAS drive support and so on and so forth. The 8 and the 4 are the internal drive and NAS drive support. So if you want to go outside of the chassis, you can do that. So they're also NDAA compliant. We support oversee on these NVRs now. You can log directly into these NVRs from oversee, as well as we support oversee obviously in the panel. We're working on oversee on the cameras now. We are releasing SDDP. SDDP supported on these NVRs now. We're going to be releasing SDDP in Q4 for the cameras as well. Next. I got ahead of myself. There's a lot of words. So we spent a good deal of 2020 this year. Losing track of time. A good deal of this year really focusing on the mobile experience. We continue to add SKUs, but it is we're not trying to build a high collect product line where there's 200 SKUs. We're really looking at small business, residential, custom residential, and saying, what does that kind of environment really need for cameras? And we're focused on that. And so as a consequence, we looked at the mobile app and said, how do we help our partners really shine when, they've got the customer getting bombed with Ring and Nest and Harlow and so on and so forth. So we spent a lot of time on the mobile app experience, and we will continue to do that through 2023. We do have a nice kind of, I think it's a nice price point. We start at $69. You can buy a color at night series 4 megapixel camera for $125 to $130. True wide dynamic range. Everything 4 megapixel and down comes with micro SD cards pre-installed, except the varifocals. So if you buy a Sony Starvis true wide dynamic range for 4 megapixel smart camera, you get a 32 gig SD card pre-installed. So we do have a lot of dealers who are working with home builders and want to just sell, hey, I need just a camera on the front porch or in the back facing the pool, and the complexity and the time it takes to put an NVR in is not really in their business model. So the reason the SD cards are in those cameras is so that you can go sell that as a standalone product. And when I say you can hand a mobile app to a user and turn it up in 5 minutes flat, you can absolutely do that. It will auto discover the app auto discovers a camera on the local network. You go in and put the password in. It's the first 6 characters of the UUID. It prompts you to change the password, and you're up. It's that simple. So they turn up very fast. They are NDAA compliant with all of the other typical compliance requirements with the reg guys all require, and they support on-BIF S&T. And we do have a number of guys using these cameras on VMS, like the Watchdog VMS system and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the strategy, is give you the ability to start with, you got 1 or 2 cameras installed. Are you going to be able to sell the NVR? And again, when you're in full on custom, these may not be price point issues that you have to deal with, but some of our partners are dealing with high volume production builders, and they're touching 2,000 to 3,000 houses a year, and the NVR sale is a tough sale in that environment. So that's why we did it. Next. So what's new? We're part of Snap now, so that's new. And so it's been tremendous. The resources inside of Snap AV are a little bit different than the resources inside of Clare, to say the least. It's been a tremendous experience. That I have not had the opportunity to be around this many highly qualified, highly motivated, intensely partner focused, we don't use dealers anymore, partner focused people in my entire life. So I'm a lifetime entrepreneur, and I can tell you as an independent person that it's a very unique company, and they're extremely dedicated to their partner base. And you probably all know that. We've improved the Clare Home app UI, and we'll continue to do that. We're going to continue to, and in case you didn't really notice that the mobile app on Android, the mobile app on iOS, and the panel all match. So there is no training on the panel that's different than the mobile app. They're not 100% the same, because some of the user experiences don't make sense on the panel, and vice versa. Some don't make sense on the mobile app, but they're 80% identical. And when we create a widget or a user interface element in one, that kind of thing definitely propagates across all 3. So when we did those shades, we got all kinds of accolades on the shades, because if you have a tilting shade, that UI experience actually shows the rotating tilt. If it's at night, the background shows the moonlight. If it's during the day, it shows a cloudlit sky. It's very creative. I was pretty proud of the guys for that. We did a bunch of drivers supporting Lutron Radio Raw 3 and Caseta. We support about 7 different shading systems with that crazy little user interface. We redesigned the Clare Vision app in the last few months, and then we updated about 45 to 60 days ago. We updated the NVRs for native overseas support and SDDP. Like I said, SDDP is coming in the cameras shortly, and we will work on overseeing the cameras in 2023. We released a fisheye as well. So that's kind of what's been up. We're not going to get into futures, as that is always the wrong thing to do. But one of the things that was mentioned earlier is we do listen to the dealers and the partners intensely. We study the call logs from the help desk almost every other week. When we have a question or we don't understand what the feedback was, we will reach out and contact you. But if you want to give us feedback, by all means, you can do it. And some of it's not always great. We watch the Facebook posts. That's usually where the complaints come in. But go ahead and you know, when you want something, we're getting feedback today. If you want something from us, you simply need to tell us, and we take you help us drive the car, and so we're happy to have the input. So next. So there's multiple places you can get support. You can get support through the sales team. Don't use that phone number. We recently ported our phone number. You can call your local rep, or your SE. Jerry is a specialized SE for Clare products, and he's kind of the subject matter experts that your local SE will go to if he or she needs help. We ported a week and a half ago, we ported our numbers over to Snap, so they would ring in Charlotte and down here, and that number hasn't made the port yet. So please don't use 328-3991. You end up in some bit bucket somewhere. We're fixing that in the next couple of days. So you've got sales support. We have inside sales down here. When a dealer comes on board, we right adjacent to the engineers, we have an inside sales specialist, Angie Baker, that literally will walk you through the onboarding process. Jerry does conduct webinars every Thursday and Friday, specifically on Fusion Pro and ClareOne. And then Jason Coleman is your primary contact. If you've got a builder that you want to show Clare to, and you want to see how to market to a builder, I don't think nobody perfects anything, but we've gotten really darn good at this. We know what makes a builder tick. I'm an integrator from years gone by. I've dealt with plenty of builders, so we understand what the builder's looking for in technology, and guess what? It's not technology. They just want to be able to check a box and be able to get marketing and support. Know there's a corporation behind it helping you get that done, and that's what Jason's role is inside the company. He works in the special sales group, and his focus is national home builders or home builders in general. And so we're bringing home builders on almost every month through our partners. So those are the three places you probably can go for help. So that doesn't, of course, include our tech support. The way you get started, there is a separate dealer application for Clare that is in addition to your Snap dealer application, and that's mainly because we carry alarm traffic, and there's there's specific requirements for things like that. So our Fusion Pro backend does carry the alarm signaling to central stations, which we support. I'd be surprised if we don't support the central station you have an interest in. We support, I don't know, 100 of them or so. There's a separate little application. The camera line does not require a separate application. If you're a Snap dealer, you can go buy away. And so, as I mentioned, Jerry does do a couple of webinars. They're on Thursdays and Fridays. You can sign up for Clare Vision webinars, and then we do have a pretty robust help center. It is in the Clare Controls microsite at clarecontrols.com, and you can see the dealer tools, and then you can go to the help center. We do write articles in that help center relatively frequently. When we start getting the same question maybe a couple of times, say we're not really documenting this well, so let's get something up there. You'll see a lot of getting started articles and getting started with Fusion Pro, getting started with cameras, getting started with NVRs, and they walk you through to get step by step rather than telling you the 300 things you don't care about in NVR. You know, I know from being an integrator, there's like 8 to 9 things I really need to know, and that's what we focus on. Or what are those things you really need to know for 90% of all your jobs? And that's how most of our articles are written. And with that, in 4 minutes to go, I'll stop talking. Oh, there's the builder program. I already went through this. I will say this: we do have videos, we do have collateral material that you can use to help market your services to the builder, but also we will put together collateral material on that's branded with your brand and the builder's brand that can be presented to the homeowner in a design center visits or a sales center visit. So again, Jason Coleman is the person to contact for that. He's the hammer that drives that stuff through the marketing department. We have our own small marketing department in this division of Snap One. So next.
No next.
Reach the end.
Yes.
We have, oh, there's only 3 open. There are certainly a lot of camera questions.
Lots of questions. Good questions too.
Yeah, so we, in terms of cameras coming up, we are looking at a PTZ camera. We're looking at a higher performing low light camera and the video doorbell. Our primary focus in 2023 is going to be driving the user experience and driving the integration deeper on the video side, driving that integration deeper into the ClareOne system. So for example, you'll be able to use a camera as a zone on the security system. We're going to dramatically improve or increase the capabilities of the smart events, the actions based on smart events and things of that nature. And we'll continue to add, these cameras do have AI built into them, the V200 and V300. We'll continue to drive the AI in those cameras to do more. And again, we're trying to give you a product that's, when you look at it, you'll see that the cost is competitive. We're trying to give you a very reliable product. We have an under 1% return rate on the cameras. We're trying to give you a reliable product that's cost effective with a user experience that allows you to compete with those darn DIY guys. That's all I have 60 seconds left.
Yeah, I think we're going to, I don't know if she wants to unmute and have a live Q&A thing, or if we have time for that, maybe just a couple minutes before we wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a couple questions here that we can go ahead and get started with. So the first question that we have is, does Clare do the actual security monitoring, or do we use existing central station? And do you guys support alarm delivery over IP?
So we are not a central station. We're a transport. So like Honeywell, Alula, Alarm.com, we provide interactive services, the back-end infrastructure that connects the mobile app to the panel, connects your configuration and monitoring tools to the panel, and connects the panel back over to the central station. And yes, we do support IP transport for alarm signaling.
Perfect. And then the second question that we have is, does ClareVision support cloud recording?
No. So the ClareVision, and that's not to say we won't ever. It's being contemplated, but there's going to be a very specific strategy around it. What we were trying to do is give when you look at the aggregate cost to a dealer on a monthly basis of delivering a video-enabled smart home and security solution, you're starting to get into the teens, $13, $14 with some of our competitors. And so we were looking at what is the most cost-effective way to deliver artificial intelligence, to deliver storage, and allow the dealer to, on a monthly basis, generate more gross profit. And so for that reason, we avoided cloud storage for now. We are reconsidering that for very select use cases. So that's in the strategy bin right now.
Awesome. And then the third question that we have is, when will multiple partitions be supported on the ClareOne panel?
Ask me a when question at Snap, and I'm probably not going to answer it. But so I will tell you its status, and I would tell you we are working on it. Partitions touch every single part of the product. Touch the user interface, the back end, the integration central stations, and the panel. Obviously, it will be a free software update. That does not it's not going to require new hardware or different hardware. We are going to take we are going to be extremely thorough about testing this. So this could be in the test environment for 6 months. Before we release it. We do not want to introduce problems into the field. So I would look for this into the middle part of next year, 2023. That's a rough estimate. It's going to really depend on how testing goes.
Okay.
It's very high on the priority list, though. I will tell you that.
Perfect. Another question that we have here is, it looks like all of the cameras and NVRs are NDAA compliant. Are there any ClareVision devices in that lineup that are not compliant?
No, there are no double negative. They're all compliant. There is one device and it's going end of life, and that's the current video doorbell. That is not NDAA compliant. The replacement video doorbell that is being worked on aggressively right now is NDAA compliant. But the entire vision line from the camera perspective, NVRs, all of that is NDAA compliant. And we have an NDAA statement in the help center if you want to go read or use that if somebody challenges you, is it NDAA compliant? We have an NDAA statement in the help center.
Perfect. And then another question we have here is, if using the Clare ecosystem for both security and surveillance, is visual verification supported? And if our central station receives an alarm, can we send a screenshot of a camera with the breach security zone to reduce false alarms?
Video verification, when I alluded to it, but didn't get into very much specific detail. The entire security industry, as everybody knows, is going to become intensely video based. And that's really 18 months ago. Why did we introduce a camera line? It's because we needed to be able to, we wanted to be able to control the feature set of a camera line so we could start to drive video into the security experience. And I gave you this simple example of a camera as a zone. Video verification is something we will be working on in 2023. It is not available today, but it is the fundamental stepstone of what we were doing, was putting a platform of cameras together so that we could begin to drive video verification as well as video as a zone and video in actions and so on and so forth. So you kind of hit on the center of really the strategic focus of Clare is very video intensive.
Awesome. And the last question that we have is, does the Clare auxiliary panel support voice enunciation, or is it just the main ClareOne panel?
Richard, we just released voice, didn't we?
It's getting tested right now. I think it's about ready to go out. So
yeah, that's in the release. There's a release in the queue. That's right. There's a release in the queue that releases essentially the panel you can make it operate independently or clone the operational characteristics of the primary panel in terms of chirping when a door is open, doing voice enunciations. And I will say it will make a sound. And there's not a 85 dB siren inside of the ATP auxiliary panel, but it will sound when the alarm goes off as well. So we put a lot of work in this release of the auxiliary panel to make it audible. And it's time measured in weeks away.
Awesome. That's great to hear. So with that being said, those are all the questions that we have for today. Is there anything else that you guys wish to further elaborate on, or any other questions that you guys maybe want to answer or expand on?
I think I'm good.
I'm pretty good. It's thank you so much for hosting this today. It's always great to get our partners on the line or potential partners on the line and let them have a chance to fire away.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well then, thank you guys so much for today's webinar. And thank you to everyone who stayed with us and participated in the webinar as well. And we look forward to seeing you guys again.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Girls.
Have a great day, everyone.